In this video, we will see the feature of interest application on the outstanding amount of invoices. The screen that we will discuss is this, which is the interest calculation screen. Before we proceed with the screen, there is a setup, a configuration that needs to be done so that the system is able to calculate the interest on the outstanding amount of invoices of various debtors. So the setup is done here in the AR parameters screen. In the AR parameters, the section that we will work on is account group, which is the debtor category. As an example, I have one category called individual where the setup is already done. So the interest applicable checkbox should be ticked. The interest percent field is where you define the percentage of interest that should be applicable. The credit period, right now the system accepts only the credit period as month end, which means it will consider all the invoices of the previous month till the end of the last day of the previous month. So the credit period is month end. The number of credit days / months is where we define the number of months that will be considered for the credit period. At the moment, the system accepts only 1 month, which means 1 month prior to your current business date. Tax type is where you can define the tax template for the tax percentage that is applicable on the interest amount. And effective from is the date from which this particular setup of interest calculation will be applicable. Now, as an example, I will go to the statement of account and show you a debtor that I already have, P8001. So when I say search, I see that there is an invoice that was posted on 1st of October 2025 for an amount of 1500. And a payment was received in the previous month, which is in the month of November, 10th November 2025, and my current business date is 22nd of December 2025. So these are the transactions that have been recorded for this particular debtor, P8001. The payment happens to be in the previous month, which is the 10th of November, for an amount of 1000 rupees. The payment transaction is not yet settled against the original invoice of 1500. Now we go to the interest calculation screen and see what happens there. So this is the interest calculation screen. These are the fields which can be used to filter the records for which you want to see the interest calculated and post it to the interface. You can choose to leave it blank as well. So here you will see that the till date is the last date of the previous month. So 30th November 2025 is the date up to which the transactions would be considered and posted. Then when I click on the search button, it will list all the records that qualify up to this till date, in which when we see Priyanka Hazarika here, it says that the outstanding amount is 1500. That is the amount of invoice which was recorded for this debtor. The payment received column is showing 0 at the moment because this will show only, the payment received column will show a figure only after the payment has been settled against the outstanding invoice. The next, which is why at the moment the payment amount, the amount of payment that we have received, which is 1000 rupees of payment that we have received, which is not yet settled against the 1500 of invoice, is showing under the column of unsettled credit. The interest percent that was set up was 2%. 2% calculated on 1500, it is showing an interest amount of 30 rupees. There was also a VAT of 5%. So 5% VAT is calculated on 30, which is why the total tax amount comes to 1 rupee 50 paise. And the total interest amount here is reflecting as 31 rupees 50 paise, which is a sum of the interest amount plus the total tax amount. Now let's go back and try and settle the 1000 rupees, which is the unsettled credit, against 1500 and see what happens, what reflects in the screen again. So I come out of here and I go to settle documents. This is the payment transaction of 1000 rupees that I received on 10th of November. I will settle it on the 10th of November itself. So here I choose and I say search. So this is the invoice of 1500 rupees. I click on the settle button and I say amount of 1000 rupees is what I want to knock off. And I click on the save and close button. So it says some transactions have amounts left. Do you wish to adjust the selected debits? Right now I will not adjust the selected debits because the 500 rupees outstanding is what it is prompting me to adjust, which I will not do right now. So I say cancel, and I've just knocked off the 1000 rupees payment against 1500. If I go back to my interest calculation screen here, I'm entering the account category individual and I say search. So now you will see there is a slight difference in the display of the information. So for this particular debtor P8001 Priyanka Hazarika, you'll find that the unsettled credit amount is 0 now. Why? Because we have settled the 1000 rupees payment against the invoice. The 1000 rupees figure which was appearing under unsettled credit now displays within the column called payment received, which means that the payment has been knocked off against the outstanding amount of 1500 rupees. To choose now from here onwards, the system has calculated the interest. It has also applied the tax percentage on the interest amount. From here, you can post this particular transaction to the interface, which is the post interface transaction screen in General Ledger. So to do that, I first select the record by clicking the checkbox in the select column, and I will say post interface. I will click on the button at the top right side. It says details created updated. And on the right hand side, when you scroll, you will see that the status is showing as posted here. So this is how the interest calculation screen works, and this particular record would start reflecting in the post interface transaction screen in the General Ledger module.